and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops.
And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast of Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, it is a beautiful day out here in the great city of Houston, Texas. Man, that weather is looking gorgeous. Hopefully it stays like that all weekend. But in this latest edition of the Homemade Podcast of Sports Extra, I'll be getting into just a couple of things. I'm going to jam pack it in here. It'll be a little quick episode. Like I say, this is the extra. And we'll keep on going from there. So first and foremost, guys, I want to give a sincere apology to all of you guys that are subscribed to the show and may not have liked some of the language that I used on the live feed that I had done just a couple of days ago. But the point that I was trying to make was to clarify some things. You know, you guys pretty much seen the rated R J Pops. That was the rated R J Pops, and I'm gonna bring back to the PG-13 J Pops. But you guys had to hear that part. I just do not like the disrespect that they give this Texas A&M football program, knowing some of the things that they say are just really, really false. Okay, I just didn't like the disrespect, and also I didn't like the inaccurate things that they were giving other programs, knowing that they shouldn't give them that. And if it wasn't for the color of the uniform, they would not be doing that anyways. Okay, but anywho, guys, I'm back to normal. You know, we're all back to normal. So to all of the ones who unsubscribed, which was only one, by the way, you know, I'm talking about to all of the ones, but to all of you guys that may have lost a little focus, well, now I'm telling you guys, come on back on in, come on back in here. This is the Homemade Podcast Sports. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed at all, man. But that comment that, you know, somebody had made, which was a long time subscriber. I'm not sure if he's one of the guys that unsubscribed or what, but he had said that, man, been watching you for a long time, been enjoying you for a while, but the language has gotten out of hand. So I'm going to say this here. I only said a couple of things. I did not say the B word, F word slipped out, heard cover that up, stuff like that. But other than that, I only said the S word and the D word. That was it. You know, hey, so once again, back to regular programming. This is the this is the Texas A&M. Shout out to Texas Aggies. I'm talking about Texas Aggies. This is the Texas A&M Homemade Podcast of Sports Podcast. Okay? So, anywho, guys, let's get on into it. So, a couple of things. I never talked about the coaching rankings that had came out with Jimbo Fisher in the PFF coach rankings. With Jimbo Fisher all the way down at what, number 13 they gave him, and then they had Brian Kelly up under him at number 14, I believe. PFF. I knew it was a reason why I didn't take those guys serious, and until this day, I still don't take those guys serious. The rankings that they put out there, it's blasphemy. I mean, the rankings that they put out there is false allegations. I have no clue of what research they do, nor do I have any clue of what they go by. Because for one thing, when they start doing these rankings of positions, they have guys up there that have about 200 yards for the total season, and that's about it. And they be ranked them way at like number 1 or number 2. Like, guys, get out of here. That is total BS to me. It is. It's total BS. But anyways, with the rankings that they gave Jimbo Fisher, and before I get Jimbo Fisher, the ranking that they gave Brian Kelly was just out this world. They ranked him at number, I think, 13 or 14, one of them. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brian Kelly. And this to all the Notre Dame fans that are joining the podcast or have joined the podcast. Love all of you guys as well. See that there's an issue. So the thing about Brian Kelly was this here. So Brian Kelly, we all know that he got to the national title game in 2012. And he got blew out by Alabama. You know, sent them all home packing, sent the fan base home packing, and they would, you know, just Just trying to make ends meet after that. Hadn't seen a national title since. You know, gotten close to it a couple of times. Hadn't seen a national title ever since. Brian Kelly said this here. The last time they played Alabama in the college football playoffs, which was recently in 2020. He said this here. He said, guys, we've been here already. You guys come and ask me the same question from almost 10 years ago. That guy said, and I'm going to tell you the same thing I told you 10 years ago. We have the talent to do it. We just have to get better. We just have to get better. And is it taking them a long time? Yes, it is. You know, that was 10 years ago, or almost 10 years ago when he said it. So, yeah, it's taking them quite of time. But college football has evolved since then. The issue that I'm having is you're ranking Brian Kelly all the way down there at number 13. Brian, I just told you what Brian Kelly said on last interview that they had with him. He was like, man, we have this, and y'all come ask me this every time. As of right now, I give Brian Kelly all the respect in the world. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Brian Kelly fan like that. I give Brian Kelly all the respect in the world because that man right now has the number 2 recruiting class. He stood on his word of saying that we just got to get better. That's by far the highest recruiting class that I've ever seen Notre Dame pulling. Under a Brian Kelly era and under all the years I've been watching Notre Dame, period. That's the highest recruiting class I've ever seen them amount to or accumulate. Out of all the years, man, Brian Kelly has been bringing in probably like top 15 class. He's now sitting at number 2. It's early recruiting. I know that. But understand what he's telling. And I'm going to leave it at that with Brian Kelly. So that lets you know that was a false allegation. Issue I'm having with Jimbo Fisher is that, and this is some of the words of like Olin Buchanan, you know, in which was Olin Buchanan was saying that's a part of the Texas Aggies over there. Some of you guys are ranking Jimbo Fisher that low because of the simple fact that you guys just don't like him personally. That is your personal opinion, you know, personal issues of Jimbo Fisher. Well, I don't like how the way he left the Florida State program. No, I don't like that. No, for that, no, I just don't like it. You guys are letting the feelings get into actual facts of things. When a guy has over 100 plus wins, 33 losses, I feel like he should be ranked in the top 10 anyways, or top 5 anyways, regardless to where he played at. If it's on a D1 level and you have that many wins versus losses, I feel like you should be in the top 5 anyways before they even start ranking you, okay? The success factor that he's had at Florida State when he got his last year, you know, that's when he had a down year. A lot of people, you know, like to say stuff about that. I mean, I'm just saying, when he got to his last year, that's when he started having a down year. Y'all won a national title. He went on a 22-0 run for 2 years, dominated the ACC when he was there. Until Clemson, you know, finally stepped up. And now they're dominating the ACC. He's building something at Texas A&M, and now he's in year number 4 and have a realistic shot at making it to the college football playoffs. First of all, let me back that up. He has a realistic shot of winning the SEC West. He has a realistic shot of winning the SEC in general, and has a realistic shot of getting to the playoffs. A realistic shot of playing in a national title game, in which Texas A&M hadn't been to a national title game, period, ever. I mean, since 1939, 80 years, what everybody keeps on bringing up. What he's been able to do to recruiting is by far, well, I would put him in the top 5 anyways. He has asserted himself in the state of Texas in only 3 years. Like I say, he's going to his 4th year. In only 3 years, he's asserted himself in the state of Texas with recruiting alone. He signed the first ever 5-star offensive tackle, which was Keon Green, to Texas A&M. A lot of you guys did not know that, and I know you guys did. He signed the first ever 5-star offensive tackle. Got Keon Green to commit. He signed the first ever 5-star defensive back. which is Jalen Jones. A lot of you guys did not know that neither. He convinced Jalen Jones to commit. You know, all credit to Mike Elko, though. But Jimbo was the head coach over there. He's signing 5 stars like crazy on this defensive line. That's out of this world, you know. He just had a 9-1 season with a quarterback that by far was not the most polished quarterback in all of college football, and we know that. But he went 10-1. He went 10-1 with the guy. You know, so I'm not understanding a whole lot of that issue. What else do you guys want from the man? Well, he hadn't beat the big bully on the block. I understand. Guys, we know that already. I mean, once again, what all do you guys look for? I mean, you want him to get 10 wins. He almost got that last year. Turn around. You want him to not only get 10 wins, but start to beat Alabama. Second of all, the guy has beaten LSU 2 out of 3 years he's been there. The guy has gotten second place 2 out of the 3 years that he's been at Texas A&M. He's gotten them to being the second best team 2 out of 3 years. And which hadn't been done before, period. We've been over there for like 9 years now. Hadn't been done. Until he came. I don't understand what y'all want from the guy. You guys want so much from everybody that is crazy. I mean, I just don't understand that. But anywho, that's the biggest issue that I have. Like, the guy has given you virtually everything, man. You guys still don't want that. But anywho, let's keep on going here. You know, I've said my thoughts about that, and let's keep on going. Let's talk about a couple of recruits coming up. This is the big weekend, something like July 4th weekend. The biggest one that we all have to keep an eye on. This is all my A&M fans, man. Keep an eye on this guy, okay? Also, Clemson, Georgia, LSU, those guys in the mix as well. Keep an eye on this young man here. 5-star athlete, Mr. Keon Sapp. He will be announcing his commitment on tomorrow at 4 p.m., which in our time, because he in IMG over there, he's in Florida. On our time, it's going to be 3 p.m. So when the clock hits 3, please be waiting, because he will announce this live on CBS HQ. For all of you guys that have the CBS HQ, he will announce it live. This is the number 7 prospect overall. And once again, the teams that he have in his group, and he took an official visit to A&M. You know, just to let you guys know, he took an official visit. He's the number 1 athlete. I believe they're trying to recruit him at safety. As of right now, Clemson has a legitimate shot at landing him. But from what I just seen with the offensive tackle, Kevin Banks, you know, that by far knocked the decision out the ballpark for this season. I honestly can't believe that anymore. So I'm going with Texas A&M. I like where A&M sits on this. And also, this coming from the dad, it says, we talked to A&M yesterday and LSU yesterday. Michigan is every day. They always talk to Michigan. I know why they talk to Michigan, because they already have the 5-star defensive back over there, which was very highly ranked. I can't remember the young man's name, but he's a defensive back that's also already committed to Michigan, regardless to what people think about Jim Harbaugh or not, you know. So he's already over there. I believe Bobby Taylor may have already pulled this young man in. This is me, in my opinion. I believe that they're trying to rack up a number 1 or possibly a number 2 class. You know, realistically, as of right now, we may just end up with another top 5 unit, either the number 4 class or the number 5 class, and which will be crazy to me, because I know for sure that number 1 will probably be Ohio State when it's all said and done. Number 2 may just very well be LSU. Number 3 may just very well be Alabama. Number 4 will maybe be Georgia, and number 5 can realistically be Texas A&M. As of right now, this is how the recruiting rankings fare out. So number 1 is Ohio State. Number 2 is Notre Dame. 3 is Penn State. 3 is Penn State. 4 is LSU. 5 is Texas because they've been landing a couple of commits now. 6 is Oklahoma. 7 is Florida State. 8 is Oregon. 9 is Georgia. 10 is Michigan. 11 is, let me go through this. Make sure all of this is accurate. Number 11 is Rutgers. Yes, believe it or not, people, Rutgers. I don't know what Greg Schiano is telling these kids over there, but number 11 is Rutgers. They by far have the most 4-star recruits I've ever seen them have, period. Number 12 is Alabama. And number 13 is Texas A&M. So, as of right now, what I mean by Jimbo Fisher have asserted himself in the recruiting, so far as like the recruiting wise, is because Jimbo Fisher and his staff, okay? Let me rephrase it. I can't keep on saying Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher and his staff are now sitting back just like this, twiddling their fingers. And they're honestly doing their picks. They have, once again, it's a lot of people that's going to disagree with that. I know it is. They have established themselves to just picking the nails, picking the fingers, just looking at the board. Okay. Pretty much the same thing that Nick Saban and Ed Orgeron does, and Kirby Smart at that matter. I'm just talking about some SEC teams. Kirby Smart at that matter. Picking their little nails, just, okay. Who did he commit to? Oh, that's cute. They're saying that, that's cute. Oh, Texas is up there now? That's interesting. That's, once again, that's cute. That's cute. That's pretty. Wait until the season starts. You guys have to put this in your heads. Remember this here. That Jimbo Fisher, he was the first one that officially said this here. It ain't gonna be like it used to be. And we ain't done yet. Regardless to anybody who's using that phrase now, Jimbo Fisher was the one that made it known on the college football world to say this here once again at the Orange Bowl. We ain't done yet. So anybody who's thinking that we're done, we're not done yet. Just hold on, wait a minute. Just wait. Just wait. Wait your turn. Be patient. Okay? We're gonna climb back on in there. Be patient. As of right now, I want to give you guys who's a really heavy lean. Just 2 guys. I'm going to name in general here. 2. Ernest Cooper. I think this Ernest Cooper the 5th. I believe either the 5th or the 6th. So Ernest Cooper, defensive lineman, 4-star. And Barry Alexander. All of you guys know him. I don't need to say too much. 5-star defensive lineman from Texas. Both of these guys are from Texas. You guys need to really know this. Both of these young men are from Texas alone. Okay? And speaking of Texas, which is very interesting to me, I was looking at something, and yes, both of these guys from Texas. I had to go in and make sure. I was looking at something, and I was looking at like a little article this morning. I was reading it, and they were saying the first stop. They said first of many stops for Steve Sarkisian as of being a Texas head coach is taking the momentum away from Texas A&M. Good God Almighty, like y'all, man. Longhorn country kills me. That has got to be the most stressful job in all of college football. You guys sit there and make a whole portfolio on how to still overcome Texas A&M. First of all, man, you guys, and I'm going to admit it, and I'm going to say it, and you guys hear me say this all the time. Start sounding like a broken record now. I can't keep on saying this. You guys have all the wins. You guys got all Americans. I I don't think you guys have the Heisman Trophy. I think we're honestly beating you guys on that with 2. You guys have the national titles, which, I mean, you guys got, 4? You guys got the wins. You guys are in a 900 ball club. You guys got the legacy. You guys have, the, what do you call it? Not the win. You guys have the blue blood status. What else do you guys want now? I mean, Texas A&M isn't worried about you guys. Go out there and win against Oklahoma already, man. We're not worried about you guys. And I saw something yesterday on Twitter that said Oklahoma and Texas is still the #1 rivalry. I'm not going to get into that. But what I will get into is this. I have no clue who has the power down there in the Big 12. I don't know if it's Oklahoma or Texas. And to my knowledge, it looks like to be Texas. They have officially made the Horns Down symbol a penalty. No, I'm going to say that once again for all the people in the back and Longhorn fans in the back. Yes, you guys have now made it to making that a penalty. Whoop-de-doo. They have now turned the Horns Down symbol into a penalty. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty now. Wow, guys. This is college football. Wow. That's a penalty now? But you can look at Tom Herman, and I want you guys to go back to that Missouri game, and he was mocking Drew Lock for the little symbol that Drew Lock done, but that's not a penalty? So you mean tell me that the Longhorns can mock other teams with their symbols, get away with it, but nobody can mock the Longhorns with the horns down and not get away with it? That's now becoming a 15-yard penalty. So I'm going to tell you like this here. And a lot of you guys are going to cut it off after this. And a lot of you guys are going to probably agree. A lot of you guys are probably not going to agree. If Texas wins a couple of games that they're not supposed to, and if I look up and see that somebody, one of these players, accidentally threw the horns down symbol, one of these players went into the moment and threw the horns down symbol, and that ref called the flag, and Texas marched down the field and getting a touchdown off of that, that's going about far let me know where the Big 12 is at the moment. That's going to let me know where Texas is at the moment and that they're desperately looking for wins at the moment. And I'm going to shut the podcast down. After that, that is it. That's all I have for you guys. I thank all of you for tuning in to the Homemade Podcast Extra Show. Like I say, man, let's keep on making this thing go viral. Please hit that subscribe button. I see a lot of you guys watch, but a lot of you guys don't subscribe. To all the 800 plus subscribers, I thank all of you guys. Let's continue to make this thing grow, man. We're starting to be national all around, and we need to continue to make this brand into a national brand, in which Texas already has, by the way. So I don't understand what the crime is about. All right. Anywho, I love all of you guys. Hashtag GigMag.
And thank you guys for tuning in to the hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at hashtag Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. Hashtag GigMag.